Are you happy in your business? Now, I have had my share of emotional ups and downs in my 20 years of being a solo entrepreneur coach. And the patterns I've seen in myself and in my clients is that those downs are usually when I was personally feeling unfulfilled. Sometimes it was because a launch that flopped, and sometimes it was just life and had nothing to do with business. But those ups, oh boy, those are the times when I was feeling my most authentic and completely aligned to my purpose, or when I just felt like I was rocking that work-life balance. I would be thinking I could do this all day long and never feel tired. One of my loves is sharing what works for me and what has been working for my clients to achieve this very feeling, full of passion, happiness, peace, and freedom. So I decided to create a private podcast for coaches. Maybe you just want to develop better communication skills that boosts engagement, leads to better results, and makes you feel like you're actually making a difference in the lives of the people you serve. Then you're invited too. We talk about this and more in the UBU private podcast for coaches. Whether you're a mentor, a parent, or run a client-focused business, coaching skills benefit everyone and anyone who wants to communicate in a way that builds relationships. Fall in love with your life and business again. Click the link in the show notes for your invitation to join us right now. Then come back and enjoy this episode. Hey, difference maker. Today, we are talking about your personality when it comes to maintaining systems in your business. These tips are also going to work in other areas of your life, so that's just a bonus. Now, once you've created your offer that is aligned to you and the strategy that is aligned to you and the systems that support your strategy, you can use what you know about your own personality to make decisions on how to maintain those systems. Now, there are 3 choices, and I love multiple choice because doesn't it make it easier to decide? Okay, let's go ahead and get started. It's time to stop comparing yourself to others and plug in to what is uniquely you. Welcome to Unbox Your Personality, the podcast for coaches, creatives, and educators like you who understand that your happiness makes you more effective at what you do, bringing out the best in others. I'm Jen P. Higgins, personality strategist and Enneagram fluff remover. Get laser focused on who you are and who you aren't, so you're free to make the impact you were born to make. And have fun doing it. Your personality is your business, so let's get down to business. One of the most common mistakes that online business owners make is not having systems in place. And an even more common yet obscure mistake that you're probably making is creating the systems before you have an offer. We kind of just get sucked into software tech and our website and social media and lead magnets and funnels and branding and clever titles and program names, you name it. Like, I can name it because I've done it. And then you get overwhelmed by all of that. And then it causes delays or that chaotic phase of reactive pivoting. So all that to say is have an offer first. Once you have an offer, it becomes that foundation of your business strategy. And then you can create the systems that support it. Now, I'm not actually going to go into the actual systems right now in this episode because there are a lot. But if we were sitting down together, I would help you decide which options work best for the offer that you're promoting and also that work best for your personality. Now, because there are non-negotiable systems that your business must have, you're going to have to make a decision about them. The good news is that there's just 3 options. The bad news is that there are consequences or compromises with each of those options. So let's go over those now. The first one is educate. The second one is automate. And the third one is delegate. And let's go through each of them and elaborate. I'm a poet and didn't know it. The first one is educate. Educating yourself on implementing a system is going to save you money. but it will take time and energy. This is the DIYer. You're going to be saving money by doing your own research. Maybe you're collecting freebies around the interwebs or taking how-to courses. But it takes a lot of time and energy to move the needle because what I've found is that momentum gets lost in the implementation. Because you're doing it on your own, you get immune to some blind spots that can slow down that momentum while you're implementing. However, some personalities that skip the educate option and only do the automate and delegate, what happens is they become disconnected from their business or their team. And there's this lack of understanding of a process or a system. And a lot of times that leads to unrealistic expectations of your team or the progress of your business. It creates a lack of appreciation for the effort that it takes to maintain a system, and that can lead to turnovers. Or if you're a team of one and maybe you paid someone to set up your systems for you, a lack of basic education of your system can cost you more money. I'm thinking about a time, this is not a business example, but it's funny, so I'm going to share it. There was one time that my phone did something weird and it had this crazy Unix looking screen and none of the buttons were working. I didn't have the regular user interface and I didn't know how to reset it. So I made an appointment with a phone geek to fix it. I lost a whole day without my phone. Come to find out that all he did was take the battery out and pop it right back in. And I'm like, well, I could have done that and saved that labor fee. So, likewise, in your business, it's a good idea to just have some basic working knowledge of all the gears that run your business so that you're going to be able to make these simple decisions of tweaks or troubleshooting, or in the very least, be able to acknowledge the help that you receive from your team or consultants with gratitude. The second option is automate. Now, this saves you energy, but it takes time and it takes money. Now, this is for the tech savvy. Automation is very tech heavy. You've got to know how to set up integrations, be able to schedule tasks or schedule emails or social media posts. This is going to save you energy that it would take if you were doing these things manually. It does, however, take time or the money to hire someone to set up these automations to begin with. And you're also going to need reliable software to create the automations for you. Now, the personalities that skip this option are the ones that like busy work because busy work makes you feel like you're earning your dollars. And this kind of goes back to what James Whitmore said in the last episode about having an employee mindset. Working harder does not mean that you're going to get more results. Now, I am not one of those personalities. I love to automate things, and I used to spend too much energy trying to program or code things to automate things on my own instead of investing in proven and reliable systems and softwares. That's what's really going to save your energy. And the last option is delegate. Delegate, of course, saves you time, but it takes money and energy. But this is really the goal that you want to get to eventually in your business systems because time is not a renewable resource. You can make more money and you can even make more energy by just getting enough rest. And sometimes it's just the power of a thought that can lift you up and give you that second wind. But time, once it's spent, it's gone. You can't get it back. So delegating means assigning a system for someone else to take care of. This is not hiring a VA and then micromanaging their work. If someone is managing your social media, they should be able to use the system that you provide them without your involvement. This is how you're going to be able to truly scale your business. But not everyone needs to start there. Every business owner needs to see the value of each of those options: educate, automate, and delegate. And every business owner is going to be drawn to one option over the other. They might do them in different order, at different paces, and it all depends on your personality. This is how we come with a plan together to work with your core motivations and your core strengths and your core values, all those aspects about yourself so that you feel like you're moving forward instead of resisting. It's really hard to hear someone say, you need to get help. You need to hire a VA. You know it's true, but if your personality isn't ready for it, you can acknowledge it and you can accept it and keep moving forward, knowing that you will get there. Do you see how empowering that is? Just to use the example of batch producing content, you'll hear business people saying that's what you should be doing. You should be batch producing content. That is a good use of your time. But for some people, it's not. I am not a person that can batch produce all of the time. I can't tell you how many times that I've tried to batch produce content in the name of saving time and then ended up not using it. Was that a good use of my time? I don't think so. Fortunately, I'm the type that doesn't get too worked up about doing something just for funsies. Now, other personality types might get irritated about wasting their time or wasting their resources. And then other types might even force it into their strategy, even though it doesn't belong or serve a purpose in the overall system. Another example is group coaching versus one-on-one coaching. Everybody says group coaching is where you scale, group coaching is where you scale. And while that may be true, it doesn't mean that you have to give up on one-on-one coaching if that is something that you really want to do. You just have to find a place for it in your overall business system. If we look at group coaching and one-on-one coaching as a educate, automate, delegate option, I would see group coaching as an educate option because it saves money. But in terms of your clients, they get slower progress. They don't get as quick of progress through group coaching as they would in one-on-one coaching. One-on-one coaching would be more like the delegate option because they're hiring you to help them save time. But it does take money and it does take energy to find a coach that you like and trust. Once you have your offer and you have your strategy, there are non-negotiable systems that need to support your strategy. And then you take those non-negotiable systems and you decide, do you want to educate yourself on how to maintain them? Do you want to automate it? Or do you want to delegate it? And really understanding your personality helps you make those decisions in a way that's going to honor you and how you're wired. But how are you going to know how you're wired if you don't unbox yourself? I hope this season has really pulled together a lot of these business concepts in the light of why you need to unbox your personality so that you can unleash your power. Thank you for listening, subscribing, and reviewing the Unbox Your Personality podcast. To learn more about yourself, go to powercoachjen.com. Find out how you are different so you can make your difference.